Robert Madrid, guy in Oklahoma. We're fighting out of Outlaws Fighting Club. Desmond Moore, he's a wrestler. Got some pretty good striking. I think he's a good fighter and I respect him, but I'm here to win. All I know is whenever I get in there, it's going to be a war, and I'm ready for it. I'm ready to win. I came here for you guys, and let's get it.
Here he comes out of the blue corner, Robert Madrid, weighing in 115. He did come in a pound over. He's sporting a record 3-1. All of his wins are by stoppage. His hometown, Diamond, Oklahoma, and he's standing at 5 feet 5 inches.
You know, he's a man of few words. I think he's sort of that quintessential silent but deadly guy. You know, I forget who said the quote, "Speak softly but carry a big stick." Robert Madrid's got 2 sticks of dynamite in both hands. 3-1 as a professional, all wins by stoppage. Now, it's gonna be like he's looking in the mirror tonight as he squares off against Des Moore.
Like you said, you were talking about Robert Madrid with his 3 wins being by stoppage. Right across the ring from him is gonna be Desmond Moore, also 3 wins, all by stoppage. Neither of these guys have seen the 3rd round.
You know, and as Carmelo was discussing that 115-pound strawweight division, you know, there are stars that are yet to be made, and so a victory tonight will really launch somebody's career into that next level. So as sort of cool and casual as both of these guys are, I know it's weighing heavily on them as they step into the cage.
There he is entering their cage, Robert Madrid. He is going to be taking on Desmond M80 Moore. Why don't we go ahead and take a look at Desmond M80.
My name's Desmond Moore, fighting out of Easton, Pennsylvania for the American Top Team. I don't know much about him except that I think he's going to be an aggressive fighter, so I think he'll keep moving forward. I adapt each fight, so I'm just going to do the things that I do well and continue to move around, set the pace high, and just capitalize off his mistakes. I mean, there's a couple different endings, you know. It could end with some nice striking, and I get done early in the first round and get to just sit around and wait for the Mayweather fight. Or, you know, I could just drag him to deep water in 15 minutes and see if he can survive.
Here he comes out of the red corner, Desmond M80 Moore, weighing in 115. His height is an even 5 feet. 3-0, all-pro wins by TKO and KO. He was in 5-1 as an amateur. Considers himself a wrestler, but like I said, all 3 wins as a pro are by knockout or TKO. This kid's the whole package.
You know, what I really like about Des Moore, aside from his fighting, is that, you know, this is sports entertainment, and he is just such a charismatic and likable guy. I like talking to him. I like seeing his interviews. I like hearing his thoughts on stuff. And when he gets into the cage, he's a showman through and through. I mean, he's giving the fans what they want to see. He is a future star in the making. And, you know, I hesitate to get ahead of myself because Robert Madrid is basically his, you know, Bizarro twin from another dimension here, with just as much knockout power, just as tenacious. And I'm not sure that Des Moore has seen anything like that leading up to this fight.
Talking about predictions, we had Robert Madrid who said he's going to win all 3 rounds and take a decision. Desmond had a different approach. Like you said, nice guy. He's very soft-spoken, though. What his prediction was, domination.
Domination. You know, I'd love to see more than 1 round in this fight. I would really love to see sort of their B and C games. I'd like to see them struggle a little bit, how they respond to adversity, you know, how big their heart is. But if I was a betting man, I don't think this fight's going to get out of the first round.
All right, Jackson, let's check out our tail of the tape for this fight. Robert Madrid versus Desmond M80 Moore.
Again, 5'5" versus 5'2". Both have all wins by TKO. It's sort of the story of this fight. It's going to come down to who lands cleanest and who lands first, in my opinion.
All right, let's throw it up to our ring announcer, Stephen Peacock.
This next event, our co-main event of the evening, is for the 115-pound weight class, and it is sponsored by Arizona Designs, creating custom image and advertising solutions that drive business results. Jiu-Jitsu thing, Jiu-Jitsu and MMA apparel. Go check out the vendor table in the front of the facility before you go. To my right, I have a 30-year-old at 5'5" with a 3-1 professional mixed martial arts record. Representing Outlaws Fight Club from Gaiman, Oklahoma, in the blue corner, the Reaper, Robert Madrid. And to my left, we have a 26-year-old who stands at 5 foot tall and has a 3-0 professional MMA record. Representing American Top Team out of Easton, Pennsylvania, in the red corner, Des M. Moore.
Okay, fighters, let's keep this fight clean. Protect yourself all the time. Bear my command, you understand? Let's touch gloves and step back. Thank you.
Referee Gasper Oliver in the center of the cage, longtime veteran of the State Athletic Commission here in New Jersey.
You can always trust his decision.
Okay, here we go. Don't blink.
Round
Do not
one.
blink.
Our co-main event, we got Robert Madrid, who's in the blue trunks, Desmond M. Moore in the white.
You know, as you can see, these guys both sort of like explosive powder kegs waiting to unleash, not yet ready to sort of step into the pocket and let those fists fly because they both know something bad can happen.
I asked Desmond in the back, does he have any concerns going in this fight? And he kind of just chuckled it off and said, none. I just take the fight as it comes. It starts on the feet, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Well, that's really all you can do. I mean, as I've said before, your training is going to dictate your performance for the most part. And when you step into the cage, I mean, there's so many variables. You're basically rolling the dice and just hoping that the training that you've put in, those countless hours behind the scenes, out of the spotlight, are going to be there for you when you need them.
You know, I was at Desmond's last fight in the audience just as a fan, and I was with a couple of my buddies who aren't so knowledgeable of MMA. And so when Des came out to the cage, I said, guys, I'm telling you, this guy Des is something to look for. They're like, well, he's so small. How really? And I said, trust me, this fight is not going to go out of the first round. Des will win by knockout. Sure enough, he did just that. But he has a different task and a tall order him right now in front of him with Robert Madrid.
You know, one thing that Robert Madrid is doing really well is using that rear kick to Desmond's lead leg. And that's a really good way to take away somebody's power. So if you can start to chop down on their leg, they're going to have a hard time putting weight on it. It makes them very immobile and unable to transfer power from the feet through the hips and into the fists. And that can take away a lot. There we go, another beautiful leg kick reciprocated by Des Moore. But if Des Moore isn't used to sort of taking damage to the legs like that, this could be something that plays into later rounds.
Now, did you see American Top Team just for a good cause? They were doing the leg kick for leukemia challenge. Did you see that?
I didn't see that. That sounds terrible.
Yeah, you had Carmelo leg kicking a bunch of the ATT fighters, or they'd have to donate, similar to the Ice Bucket Challenge, but they would just eat a leg kick from Carmelo Morales. Not something I would want to do on any given night.
It's like getting hit with a phone, a telephone pole. But Des Moore, beautiful takedown to the double leg. Ending up in sort of a modified guillotine here. Robert Madrid has nothing offensive, but he's preventing Des Moore from improving his position. This is just going to be temporary. Des Moore's going to get out of this, from what I believe, and establish a side control.
2 minutes, 30 seconds. Round is half over now. And really it's just looking like Robert's trying to hold on just so Des can't advance.
Yeah, and the thing is, against a good jiu-jitsu guy, the more you wait, the more time and opportunity you give your opponent to sort of capitalize on the position. So Des Moore is in a dominant position. Here we go, back into that side control that we were talking about. Just having a really hard time keeping Madrid flat on his back, which is where he needs him to be.
Asking Madrid how he feels going into the contest, and he just simply said no pressure at all and claims his style is freestyle. We've been seeing that a lot tonight, people saying that their style is freestyle. Nobody's a striker or ground fighter anymore. It's all evolved.
It's kind of maybe a question that dates us, When I started training mixed martial arts in 2004, you were a boxer or you were a wrestler. You know, you had a specific style. But this new generation of fighters, I think Des Moore is a great example of that. Somebody whose style was wrestling is now a complete mixed martial artist.
Des is able to scramble back out and get to his feet. We'll see if Madrid keeps using his distance as he has been using successfully. We'll see if Des can close the distance and land one of his big shots.
Well, these fighters are doing a really good job of controlling the ring and not letting themselves get backed up too much. They both seem pretty game, and now that they're warmed up, they start an exchange, and this is where things are going to get a little dirty.
Now, who would you say has the speed advantage right now? Des has always prided himself on his speed, but I mean, he's having a hard time closing the distance. It's almost like Madrid is also seeing a little bit of what he's throwing coming in.
Well, you know, Madrid being able to stay in the center of the ring gives him a lot of options to be evasive. So when Desmond Moore rushes in with that double jab followed by a power shot like a cross, Madrid's able to sort of circle away and just maintain his defensive distance. But
beautiful takedown by Des.
Robert Madrid, totally unorthodox, totally wrong, but that looks tight. And even though he may not get the tap, that's going to sap some of Dez's energy going into these later rounds with that tight chokehold.
If you were inside there, what would you be wanting to do right now to escape this and get to a dominant position?
You know, I mean, Des has just got to kind of weather the storm. Robert Madrid can't squeeze forever. He should be applying more pressure with that left shoulder and keeping Robert Madrid flat on his back. But you know, just by ticking the clock away and staying on top, he's looking to win that round, I think.
Good first round for both fighters. I don't know who I'd give that one to, you know? I mean, Des was a little bit aggressive, but, you know, Rob was landing his big leg kicks and holding Des, you know, in position on the ground. Who would you give the first round to, Jackson?
Tough call. Based on position and control alone, I'd give it to Desmond Moore.
All right, let's check out this replay, Jackson.
Good, and here's that long jab and that outside striking from Robert Madrid. He's doing a good job of getting in and out of his own range and comboing those kicks. That makes it really difficult for a guy like Desmond Moore to have the confidence to rush in and land his strikes.
Now, with Madrid being able to keep him on the outside, how does Des close the distance and get inside?
I mean, he's got to do a little bit more of what he's doing, but you'll notice that when he comes in, he's coming in on a straight line, and that makes it kind of easy for Robert Madrid to circle away. So Des needs to sort of change his angles and zigzag in a little bit, look to corner Madrid against the cage, and then sort of capitalize and control the ring from there. That would be my analysis, but again, both these guys are super tough and super skilled, so it's not an easy feat by any means.
All right, cage doors closed, and we're getting ready to start the next round. And here we go. Desmond M80 Moore in the white trunks, and we have Robert Madrid in the, well, I say purple, actually. I said blue originally, but yeah, purple.
Poiple. Both guys look fresh. It was a good first round pace, but both guys look really fresh and, you know, bad intentions in their strikes. I love it.
And what do you think Carmelo was telling Des in the middle of the round?
Don't wait.
Yeah.
You know, Desmond Moore is waiting on the outside, and for his troubles, getting peppered with those jabs and leg kicks. They don't hurt. Desmond Moore may be just a super tough guy, maybe not too worried about those strikes causing damage, but the refs see that and they take note.
A lot of front kicks that seem to be finding a home. It also seems like Des is getting a little kick to it. Big slam by Desmond M80 Moore, landing inside control.
You know what's great about Desmond Moore is that despite his boxing skills, I mean, he is a thoroughbred wrestler, and so at any time, if he feels he needs to take the fight to the ground, he can, and that's an invaluable asset to have as a fighter, to control the pace as well as the position of the fight.
Now, Robert Madrid, you know, he's no slouch at all. He has the reach advantage right now, and great scrambles from the bottom. And you can see the tap-out logo tattooed on his back. Let's see if he can actually get the tap-out victory.
You know, he's dogging right now on this guillotine, and until he locks up some sort of guard, he's basically just holding Desmond Moore on top of him and letting the clocks tick away. This is not a technique that you would learn from a traditional Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu instructor, because there's some problems with it. You'll notice that if Desmond were to attack that arm, which he didn't, there are some arm locks like Kimuras and key locks and things like that, but it's considered bad Jiu-Jitsu. But bad jiu-jitsu in the cage is really something that doesn't work. If you can use quote-unquote bad jiu-jitsu to a good effect, then it's, you know, as far as I'm concerned, it's good jiu-jitsu, and you got what you wanted to accomplish.
Now, Madrid, he also has fought at 125 pounds. He's, you know, losing over this one at 115. He's obviously the bigger guy. Is that an issue for Desmond at this point? I mean, having to deal with the bigger guy, coming down in weight, obviously heavier.
I think it's always an issue for a guy like Desmond. You know, he's 5 foot tall. This is what he's used to. It's very tough for a guy like Des Moore to find sparring partners his size. And if he's smart, which he is, if his coaches are smart, which they are, they're bringing in guys who are probably a little bit bigger and a little bit longer. But Des gets used to sort of fighting from that reach disadvantage.
Also to note that with Carmelo Marrero, an American top team, they also can travel and have traveled down to headquarters at Coconut Creek, Florida.
Yeah, and that's a huge asset for guys like Des Moore or some of these guys that aren't necessarily located in a big city like Philadelphia. They're out there, where Allentown, I believe, ATT. Not far from Philly, but you know, it's definitely a 1 to 2 hour drive depending on traffic. And to be able to get down to Florida, you know, put your entire life on hold so you can focus on fighting with some of the best fighters in the world is a huge asset to guys like Des Moore and some of the other fighters at ATT.
ATT with a huge list of who's who fighters in the UFC, on down through the rankings, Bellator, you name it, ATT is everywhere.
Ooh, beautiful left hand from Desmond Moore. He looks to be finding his range now, and
using some leg kicks of his own, Des is.
You can kind of see the difference in rhythm now. Des Moore has got sort of a little bit of swagger. His movement is timed and explosive, and Robin Madrid's a little heavier on his heels, looks to be a little bit retired. Taking a big, deep breath there is Robin Madrid.
And like we were talking about before with the you know, cutting of the weight coming down from 125, do you think that might be an issue? Why he's, you know, deep breathing, a little bit tired? That's a tough cut to make.
Absolutely a tough cut to make. But when you got a guy like M80 putting the pressure on you, it's very difficult to reciprocate that, you know, without getting tired. This may just be, yeah, for a guy like Robin Madrid, he's very tough. He hasn't fought out of the first round with his wins, and so he may not be used to getting into that second round. I mean, the second round's over. We got 40 seconds left. This may be uncharted water for him.
Wow, we were talking about before the contest started how neither of them have gone into the third round as a pro. 30 seconds left in this round. It looks like they just might see it tonight.
Well, I think Des Moore definitively taking the second round and putting himself in a heavy position
again
to come back on that third round.
Desmond's just raw strength and power. I can't get enough of it.
You know, here's the thing with Des Moore. Great striking that he's really been focusing on, but you know, I think he's sort of realizing that he's a wrestler, he's a mixed martial arts fighter, and he needs to make this fight dynamic. Beautiful adjustments in the second round from Desmond Moore.
Absolutely. That's a tough fight to call thus far. Between rounds 1 and 2, I really don't know how to score it.
You know, if I was a coach, I'd be saying you are even going into the round 3. You need to win round 3.
All right, Jackson, let's take a look at the replay. Can you take us through?
Yeah, you know, that's just a textbook setup. Overhand right to takedown. Beautiful execution on that takedown. And, you know, Des Moore has been doing a really good job of establishing control from the top. But Robin Madrid with that really unorthodox guillotine has been making it difficult. And here we see just clips of Des Moore landing his shots and a beautiful power double slam to close out the second round.
Getting ready for the third round. Who are you going to take so far in this contest, Jackson?
Like I said, I think it's even going into round number 3. So just based on the pace and momentum at the end of round 2, I think Des Moore is really going to come out on top, assuming things stay as they are. But you know, every round is a chance to turn it all around for yourself. And Robin Madrid, he's very much in this fight.
Taking a look at both fighters as this round starts. Robert Madrid breathing pretty heavily, and Des just came over to the cage, not breathing heavy at all, and pumping up the crowd to cheer for him.
That's what I said. I love it. He's a showman. You know, he knows that he's out here to put on a show for the fans. He's engaging the fans. His interviewing skills are great. He is a star in the making.
I actually interviewed Desmond before this contest, and what wound up being 5, maybe 6 questions was a 25-minute interview.
Well, you know, I heard the interview, Adam. It was awesome. I got to say, Des Moore is
stepping it up right now.
Yeah, he's stepping up. He knows what he needs to do. He needs to just crank that intensity up a little bit. Robin Madrid in a huge position to lose this fight at any moment. Gasper Oliver is giving a really quick look here to the safety of Robert
Is
Madrid.
Desmond Moore. He gets the 4th win of his career by stoppage. 4-0 as a professional. All TKOs or KO. And they call him a wrestler?
Wow, you know, here's the thing with Des Moore. Just the perfect fight you'd want to have a guy like Des Moore take for his 4th professional fight. No easy feat to put away Robert Madrid, who is dangerous in every position, but Des Moore with the heart, the training, and the power to end this fight before the 3rd round.
Wow, Desmond M. 80 Moore. Can't say anything better about the kid. He's just on a warpath. Let's take a look at this finish, Jackson. Roll it through.
Good, here we go. Des Moore in what we call the beat-down position from 4 points, just letting those sticks of dynamite fly. Robert Madrid unable to mount any sort of intelligent defense. We got Gasper Oliver with a close eye on the fighters, primarily concerned with health and safety of each fighter, making a very smart call.
Stopped at 50 seconds of the 3rd round. The winner by referee stoppage via TKO unanswered strikes came out of the red corner, Des M. Moore.
Let's hear from our announcer, Bob Maloney.
Okay, I'm here with Des M. Moore. Des, when you're out there, you're such a calm fighter. You don't like any wasted movement. It looks like you have a plan. You come into the cage that you and Carmelo formulate, and Rodney, you formulate a plan. You come in there and you put the plan in action. You come out with another victory. Tell me how you feel having such a great guys behind you, and you come out and put that performance on.
Hey, I feel good. I mean, I thought I was going 15 minutes for the first time, but, you know, we had to get out there, and, you know, the fuse was lit. So I like to finish it before the 3rd, and it happened, or before the end of the fight, and it happened, and it feels great. You know, I thank my coaches, and they're just always in my ear. I can always hear them. I know what's going on. I know when I'm doing something wrong. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you for my sponsors to continue to support me. Lehigh Dental, Parrish Chiropractic, Style You Need, Print Shop, everybody else behind me. American Top Team, thank you guys for all my training partners, coaches. I love you guys. Thank you.
That's Des Moore. He may be a little guy, 115, but he brings the pain and he brings a lot of action to the cage. Congratulations going 4-0. Your career is skyrocketing. Keep up the great work. Des Moore. Back to you, Jackson and Adam.